Israel's parliament has adopted two controversial laws this week. One allows the government to expel family members, including Israeli citizens, involved in attacks. They would be sent to the Gaza Strip or another location for up to 20 years. The law also applies to residents of occupied East Jerusalem. It's unclear if it will apply to people in the occupied West Bank. On Tuesday, the parliament also passed a law allowing Palestinian-Israeli teachers to be fired if they show support for attacks against Israelis. Let's go to our correspondent, Mohamed Vall. He's in the Jordanian capital, Amman, because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside the occupied West Bank and from inside Israel. Mohamed, a lot of questions and concerns about these new laws. What more can you tell us about them?
Yes, Marine, the concern is that these laws, even though it is said that they are made for Israeli citizens, but in fact they are made only for Palestinian-Israeli citizens. That distinction is not clear in the wording of the two bills, and that's why human rights organizations are very much concerned about the implications of these laws. So they explain them as measures of oppression and apartheid measures that are targeting only a category, a community within the country. If you look at the details of those laws, even using the word martyr by teachers, for instance, or even by relatives of people who are accused of committing terrorist acts against Israel, the use of the word martyr, carrying the Palestinian flag, or wearing the Palestinian keffiyeh, these are considered acts of sympathizing, acts of support, and of empathy with the terrorists, between quotes. So the laws say that these people who do this, are subject to assessment, legal assessment by Israeli courts. And if the Ministry of Interior finds that this means or proves that they are sympathizing with terrorists, between quotes, they can be expelled according to the details that you have mentioned. So human rights organizations are looking at this as just another instance of an apartheid regime that is applied only to a category of the Palestinians, and it is very, very, very concerning.
OK, many thanks for that. Mohamed Vall there for us in Amman. Well, we can speak to a human rights lawyer. Sausan Zahar is a Palestinian human rights lawyer. She joins us live from Haifa. Thank you so much for your time. What is it about these laws that concern you?
First of all, these two laws should be looked at in combination and in addition to several other laws that also were confirmed by the Israeli Knesset, not only after October 7th, 2023, but also before. Today is basically a dream come true for the right-wing coalition in the government to pass as many laws as they want that they tried to pass before the war and did not succeed. One of them, or two of them, are these two laws that passed yesterday against teachers or school administrations, and also against the families of Palestinians who committed terror attack. Now, the problem is that, first of all, we are talking here about political interpretation of what a terror attack is. And this interpretation is being provided to the authority of political personnel, like the Minister of Interior in the case of deportation and the expulsion, and to the general director, not even the minister, in the case of the teaching or the Arab teachers expelling Arab teachers at schools. So it will be based on political interpretation, and of course we all know, based on our experiences as lawyers, that the law is being interpreted in a biased way in favor of the Jews and against the Palestinians. So a terror attack has been also interpreted by the courts as basically an attack against the Jews or against the Jewish state. And this is why in many cases we don't see an implementation of such laws against Jewish terrorists who commit attacks against Palestinians.
But Susan, just to interrupt you briefly, am I right in thinking when it comes to these laws, there have been concerns already raised within Israel by the Justice Ministry and the Attorney General about the legality of these laws?
There have been concerns, but these concerns, we find out that they are being expressed in the process of the legislation just in order to show some kind of reservation. But when it comes to the court, generally what the general attorney who is responsible of representing the state backs the law and cannot stand against it, especially when it comes to these kinds of laws. And we're talking about laws that are basically targeting Palestinian citizens in Israel, in contrast with their constitutional right to get out of the country and get back into the country. This is a constitutional right that is being provided by the semi-unwritten constitution of Israel. This is number one. We're talking about collective punishment against parents, against siblings, against spouses of people who committed attacks that the family member most probably didn't know about. And so it's enough even for you to open a condolences tent or to open a condolences house to be probably viewed and interpreted as someone who provided or expressed empathy with the family member that died. So this is, of course, collective punishment. It should be seen not only as part of the institutionalized apartheid laws against Palestinians, but in my opinion, should also be viewed as part of the genocidal, systematic war and policies that Israel is committing in Gaza, as well as the ad hoc annexation in the West Bank, and giving full accountability to the violence against Palestinians in the West Bank. And now with the chain of more legislations that are targeting Palestinians. This is basically part of the institutionalized, intentional chain of what we are seeing, and we cannot see it in disconnection with what's going on the more holistic level.
I'm afraid we're out of time, but thank you so much for that. Sosan Zahir, Palestinian human rights lawyer, speaking to us there from Haifa.
Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.